Hello beautiful friends and welcome. If you don't know me, I'm Hallie, and if you're watching this video, you're either pale, olive, a makeup lover, or all of the above. Whatever the reason, I'm so happy that you're here and welcome to my first YouTube video of 2025. I've tried and epically failed at making YouTube videos in the past. I think I did like 2 whole videos last year towards the end of the year. But this year, the year of our Lord 2025, I'm going to try to make YouTube videos. So hold me to that. I figured a great video to start with in 2025 is every single favorite product I tried in 2024. A disclaimer, I went viral at the end of 2023 and gained most of my following just last year in 2024. So I've tried the most makeup I ever have in my life just this past year. I'm gonna show you some in every category. And another disclaimer, not every product here that I've tried was new, like came out in 2024, but it was new to me because I tried it in 2024. So go ahead and grab your tea or a snack. I'm using a Rudolph mug because we haven't put our Christmas stuff away, but it's fine. Hope you're cozy. Let's get started. Actually, I'm gonna start with something that's not a beauty product. It's actually my first tattoo that I got ever, because she's freaking gorgeous and I'm officially the coolest person in my family now. She's just no special meaning. She's just a beautiful dagger and flowers. I'm obsessed. I've caught the tattoo bug. I want so many of them, but I just wanted you guys to see how cool I was. Okay, we'll do the beauty products now. Let's start with the pale girl's best friend, sunscreen. I actually tried quite a few last year, but these two are pretty much completely empty and I need to repurchase them because they were my favorite. This one is by Andalou Naturals. Their Daily Shade Pollution Defense Facial Lotion with an SPF 30. She was just a really good all-around, easy to absorb, almost lotion-like type sunscreen, and I felt like she sat really well over any other skincare I did. She felt hydrating without being greasy, and she did the job. Really liked her a lot. My favorite for when I was wearing heavier makeup like I am right now, or any makeup at all really, is by Hippie. It's their Daily Protective Serum. It's SPF 30, and it really is very serum-like. It totally absorbs into the skin. So yeah, sat really nice under makeup, and so that's why she became a quick fave. I'm trying to figure out how to get the last few drops out of her because I love her so much. And while a lot of other people might show you the rest of their skincare routine, I have a very specific one that I've been using for over a year now to heal my skin barrier. I probably have to do a separate video on that because I don't think anybody uses the products they use, even though they're really accessible. And they're just gonna be my skincare routine pretty much forever. So if you wanna see a video on that and how I'm doing that, let me know in the comments. But let's just skip to the makeup part. I lied, there's actually one skincare type product that I did like that I tried last year by The Ordinary. Their glycolic acid exfoliating toner. Did not use this on my face. I discovered her in the summer and I'm glad I did because she was a lifesaver for my underarms. I applied this every day before my deodorant and I feel like it helped any body odor I had like completely go away. Like I still put deodorant on top just for protection, but I was used to having to like reapply deodorant a couple times a day, especially in the summer, and I did not have to do that with this. I also tried using it one time in my hair to like help with my scalp because I get really oily and flaky. It did a really good job of clarifying my scalp as well. I'd actually need to try to do that again because it works super well. I had a lot of primers last year, which actually led me to come to a very controversial opinion about primers, which is that I don't like them or think they're necessary. Even as an oily combo skin girly, most of them didn't do anything for me. I felt like they just made my makeup move around weird or look patchy or just overall did not help my makeup at all. Except for when they were moisturizing primers. Yes, even as an oily combo skin girl, I feel like moisturizing primers really just help my skin feel the most hydrated and even, so that way there was nothing patchy going on at all. Especially for matte foundations and products like that, I feel like having a hydrating base on really just helped everything stay super smooth and long lasting. The two I really liked are from Mercier. This is the Pure Canvas Primer. Really nice, super easy to use, just feels like a lotion. And then I wasn't planning to try this when it came out, but One Size was kind enough to send this to me. It's their Secure the Glow Tacky Hydrating Primer. Now I tried the e.l.f. one that everybody loves and I pretty much hate it. Not usually a fan of any other tacky primers, but it's not like that one at all. It's definitely mostly hydration that once it dries down creates like a nice kind of smooth, slightly sticky, but very hydrated base, which is why I really liked it. I tried more foundations than probably anybody you've known in your life just in this last year. To be fair, that's how I went viral and so I stuck with it. Yeah. Being a pale girl with olive undertones, warm olive undertones in particular, makes it very, very hard to find foundations that are either light enough for me or have the right undertone. Actually, I can't believe I haven't tallied up how many I tried last year. I should probably start using that as a hook because it's gotta be at least, I don't know, probably like 50 foundations. I don't know, here are the best ones that I tried last year. She is truly known as the greatest of all time for a reason, the Esteē Lauder Double Wear Foundation. Though she is very matte, she is the best wearing, most long wearing, most natural matte finish foundation I have ever tried. This is one of the only foundations I wear that I actually get compliments on when I wear it. That's truly because it's the greatest. Shade range is incredible. I wear the lightest shade ON1 Alabaster. She's actually a little bit too light for me and her undertone is more neutral than I am, but I'm mixing her with one of my other favorites this year, which is from RMS Beauty. This is the Reevolve foundation. I wear the lightest shade 000. Look how cool this packaging is. I hope that's clean. These two together, a match made in pale olive heaven. They are both very expensive. I was very fortunate to be gifted these, but I will sing their praise till the end of time. Anyway, Our Best Beauty on her own is really good. She's a nice like satin dewy finish. She's the most olive foundation I've ever tried. My only tiny qualm with her is while this one is a little bit too light for me, this one's like a smidge, like half a shade too dark for me, which is why I like to mix them together because they're lovely. I did not expect to like this one at all. I don't typically like any color changing type product because, again, as a pale girl, you know, those typically don't work for us. They're too dark. This meebak Cica Redness Solution Cream is one of my new favorites. It's a pale olive girly. It's technically like just a tiny smidge too dark for me. I will mix like a drop of white mixer into her. She feels like a beautiful lightweight moisturizer and she looks so skin perfecting. I just really love how she looks on the skin. It's super, super smooth and actually looks olive because she goes from green to beige. So I don't know what more you could want in an olive product when it literally starts as green. Last favorite in foundations was a new release of the year. It was very hit or miss for some people, but it got a lot of hype. It was the Huda Beauty Easy Blur Foundation. I got the shade Angel Food. It's a really, really, really good match if you're super fair and olive-ish or warm olive or just warm. It's got a good strong yellow tone in it without being too overwhelming. I'm actually wearing her today. A little bit of this does go a long way. I find if you build her up too much, she can get a little bit cakey, but a nice thin layer of her is very full coverage, very long lasting. Really good when you set it with their powder in particular. I actually find that she's a tiny bit too light when I use the lightest shade of their powder with it on me. It's a really close match and I love that there's a shade even lighter than this that works for people that are more pale than I am. Moving on to concealers. I am so picky when it comes to concealers, so if I have a recommendation, it's usually pretty highly recommended. Starting with a corrector actually, because I realized how important that was this year for me. This one's from Catrice. It's their Under Eye Brightener Instant Awake in the shade Light Rose. She's a nice peachy pink color. Very hydrating, not super matte. Pigment in her is really good. I do find that if I use too much of her, she can get a bit creasy and cause my other products on top to crease too. She's also super affordable. I think you can get her on Amazon for like $6. Tea break because I think I'm losing my voice. I can't tell if I'm getting sick or not. We have a lot more products to go though, so that can't happen. For concealers, the first one I love that was actually a new release last year and was just one of the best ones I tried is by Danessa Myricks, the Yummy Skin Lift and Flex Concealer. Danessa was very kind enough to send this over to me and I was so honored because she's beautiful and I love her and her products are amazing. I really love the shade number 1. Got more of a cool pink undertone, but honestly I found that it worked really well for my under eyes still. Very thin but good medium coverage concealer that builds well. And I felt like she really looked skin-like, didn't settle a lot into my fine lines, and she was just so gorgeous. The next concealer was one I did not expect to like and I actually didn't like for the first few months that I had it for some reason. It's also by Catrice. It's their True Skin Concealer. This is in the shade 01 Neutral Swan. At first I thought she was too yellow for me, and in my defense, during the first most of the year, I thought I was cool toned like I thought for my entire life. And then I got my professional color analysis done near the end of the year for my birthday, and I learned that I'm warm toned. I'm still traumatized. We can talk about that in another video, but it made a lot of sense when it came to makeup products for me, especially because now that I know I'm warm olive, it means I know I can pull off things with more yellow in them. Now I don't wear her on my under eyes a lot, but when I do no makeup days or I just want to cover blemishes on my face, this is my go-to. She matches my skin nearly perfectly. Really nice coverage and super hydrating, doesn't dry down super matte at all. And again, Catrice is super affordable. I think you can get them on Amazon, so love her. My favorite concealer I tried last year and maybe of all time is by Anastasia Beverly Hills, their Magic Touch Concealer. Not only is this the most full coverage concealer I've ever tried in my life, but she's also olive. Fair olive, very fair olive. While this is the lightest shade number 1, and I think she's a really good pale olive shade, I think number 2 is also really good if you're fair olive. If you're very fair olive, you need her. Okay, thanks, bye. To be honest, I actually can't remember if I tried this next product last year or maybe at the end of the year before. We're gonna say it was last year. The Huda Beauty Easy Bake Loose Setting Powder is the powder I was looking for my whole life. Like I said, I'm an oily combo girl, so nothing ever lasted me like all day as far as keeping my oiliness and my T-zone at bay until I tried this powder. She's the most smoothing, most blurring, and if you're oily like me, she definitely keeps things at bay. I also love that as far as the shade range goes, they have a lot of cool undertones and different super fair shades. I literally got the lightest one, which is white. It's called Sugar Cookie, and it's not translucent like a lot of other white powders are. It actually has a little bit of pigment to it, so if you're very fair, it's actually brightening because, again, it's literally white. Be careful if your foundation's a little bit light too though, because as I've experienced, you can make your perfect match look a little too light sometimes, but she works super well. I love her for under my eyes especially. So smoothing and blurring. Contours and bronzers can be really hard to find for pale olive skin or olive skin in general for no apparent reason, because contours are too cool and a lot of bronzers are too warm, or at least very orangey looking, and so I don't have a lot of them that I love. I try tried one last year that I absolutely fell in love with, and I wear it every single day now. It's by Anastasia Beverly Hills. It's their contour stick in the shade Fawn. Like I said, she's a contour stick. I call her a bronzer stick because if you're olive, as you can see, she has a little bit of like kind of like a neutral, almost olivey undertone. She definitely looks cool. I am wearing her today. I feel like she's that perfect in-between shade because especially as a warm olive, grayish contours that a lot of people are looking for pale skin can look like blue on me almost. A lot of warm bronzers pull really orange where I need something more yellow based. She is a little bit of a drier formula, but I don't mind that personally. She leaves enough time for me to blend it out. She's not overly blendable. Like I know a lot of people like those super creamy, like easy to blend products. I actually prefer something that's kind of in between dry and very blendable because I will over blend. This doesn't let me do that. Another pale olive must have, honestly. Oh my god, I'm not used to talking this much for a long period of time. My throat is killing me. Don't be deceived by social media. I'm not a yapper. I swear I tried like 10,000 blushes last year and there are a lot of good ones. It's hard to pick a few favorites. Oh shoot, my heater just came on. Hopefully it's not too loud. Tell me if it's too loud. I'm gonna jump right in and start with the one that I've been wearing non-stop since I got it. Beauty was very kind to send me over a bunch of products a couple of months ago. I have been slowly falling in love with every single thing that I've tried from them, including their cream clay blush. This is the shade M73. No surprise, I'm wearing her today. Here's what she looks like. She's very used, as you can see. I think this is my perfect blush. She's the perfect neutral rosy mauve color. The formula is just, Beauty somehow creates products that are the best thing you've ever put on your skin, and I can't describe it as any other way. If you know, you know. It has a perfect amount of pigment. I'd say it's like medium almost, where it's not so pigmented that you can accidentally put too much on and not blend it out, but it's also not super sheer. It's a really perfect, almost kind of like matte balm formula. I want to say it's been 2 months since I've worn any other blush besides this one. It's amazing. She goes with everything. I did not realize how much I grew to love Catrice products last year. This Blush Affair liquid blush is one of the best blushes I think I've ever tried. Pigment is really good. Blendability is really good. Formula is really good. Very hydrating feeling, kind of dewy, but this color specifically, this is the shade Pink Feelings. I think everybody in the world needs this color, especially if you're a true spring color season like me. It's that perfect, almost peachy pink, and she just looks so good with everything. It looks pretty much exactly like the color of this too. I had a lot of fun trying Tower 28 products last year. Their blush formula, which is infamous, really is for a good reason. I really liked this formula and their colors are really pretty. I really love this fun purple shade they have though. It's called Party Hour. If you're olive, you need it because it's complementary to the green in our skin. And even though I picked this shade, well, I thought I was cool tone, I feel like she actually still works really well. It's a little more mauve-y purple on the skin. I think that can complement you no matter if you're warm or cool, as long as you're olive. But if you are just cool tone as well, I think you'll like this a lot. It's not as intimidating as it looks in the pan, I promise. As I was adapting to the news of finding out that I was warm toned in a true spring, I was starting to experiment with my makeup. I realized that Gen C Beauty makes the perfect blush shade for springs. This was a new release last year. It's their Straight Glow Flush, it's their Straight Flush Glow Stick. Straight Glow Flush Stick. It's their Straight Flush Glow Stick. And this one's in the shade Bloom. She is the perfect peach color without looking super orange, which I find was something I was having a really hard time adjusting to. I was afraid that everything I had to wear had to be like bright orange or like red or coral, and in reality, it just means I'm a peach blush girly. I like wearing this one a lot on like low makeup days or no makeup days. So cute. I honestly should probably make a video about being a true spring. I only found out a couple months ago, like in October, but if that's something you're interested in, also let me know in the comments. Now I know you've been watching this whole video and wondering what my eyeshadow is, and I did that on purpose. I do not buy eyeshadow palettes. I feel like I've hardly ever finished a singular eyeshadow palette that I've owned. Even after having it for like 3 years, I like know it's expired and I hate to throw it away because there's so much product in them. I was sent a couple of really cool ones this year that I fell in love with, starting with Naba Cosmetics palette. This is the Iconic Pigment palette. This is in fact the one I'm wearing today. I'm wearing this shade right here. I always get compliments when I wear any shade from this palette, and rightfully so because they're gorgeous. I love Naba Cosmetics. They're super sweet. I've actually worked with them and done a couple of ads for them this year, and I'm super grateful for them. One brand that's really snuck their way into my heart this year is Anastasia Beverly Hills. Their new Spice palette that they came out with for the holidays is so good and one of my favorites. Suddenly I'm worried that it's going to be discontinued because it might be a holiday palette. Yikes. Anyway, here's what the palette looks like. I'm sure it'll be no surprise when you hear me say this is a perfect true spring palette. We've got some really cute peachy pink shimmers, some really good like neutral leaning warm browns. I think if you're olive or warm toned or just like to wear warm eyeshadows, this is a really good palette that doesn't look like super orangey warm tones. So thanks ABH for sending this. Seriously tried a lot of mascaras, maybe more than any other product besides foundations this year. Well, actually I tried a lot of lip products too. I don't know, I tried a lot of makeup, guys. Unfortunately, my favorites are not drugstore, but c'est la vie. Fenty Beauty Hello Thick Mascara. She's my girl. I love chunky dramatic lashes, especially because I am terrible at false eyelashes. They terrify me. I don't like them, they don't like me, but I love dramatic lashes, so she gives me that. She definitely gets really chunky if you layer on a lot of her, but I tend to do 2 to 3 coats and I still like the way she looks. Also really like the Ilia Lengthening Mascara. Wait, is that what it's called? Limitless Lash Mascara. The formula is nice, I'm sure, but it's actually this brush that does everything for me. I love the different types of combs on here. It just really makes sure my lashes get nice and long and separated, and I will often just use this over any other mascara I'm wearing, even the Fenty. She's really good for bottom lashes too. There are some drugstore mascaras I tried and liked, but I wouldn't call them my favorites. Essence, in fact, does have really good mascaras. I like their waterproof ones especially. I will often layer my mascaras together, make some kind of concoction, and I always like to put a waterproof one on top of whatever I'm wearing so that way it holds the curl and lasts better throughout the day. This is the I Heart Extreme Crazy Volume Waterproof Mascara. I can't decide if I like her or their Lash Princess in the waterproof formula better. It's honestly a toss-up, but I don't have the Lash Princess with me today, so this one's very good. I don't know how much more talking I can do. In hindsight, I should have just made an entirely separate video for lip products. Actually, I did a container to put all of them in for you, but I'm here, you're here, let's do it. 2024 was the year that I finally mastered what a lip combo was and stopped wearing singular lipsticks. When I did wear lipstick, it was probably one of these from Melloway, New York. They're high-rise matte lipsticks, because not only is the packaging cool, this is Mahogany Mama. She's the perfect cool tone mauve. Also learned to appreciate this shade, which is a really pretty peachy pink color. You know, once I learned I was a spring. Shade name's not my favorite. It's called Blush. Bitch. Don't say it out loud, I've got kids. But she's gorgeous. Why is my heater so loud? Can I be so real for a second? I don't understand why people buy high-end lip glosses. There are so many good ones at the drugstore, especially that I tried in 2024. Most people already know and love the Maybelline Lifter glosses. I especially learned to love them last year. I love this shade in particular, Taffy. This is a perfect, beautiful berry color. I love this formula. I've honestly been wanting to get some new shades now that I know I'm warmer, and I have a plumping formula that I'm dying to try. I don't know why it took me so long to try the NYX Butter Glosses. I was such a hater for so long, mostly because of the small applicator. Once I realized the amount of shades they had and the pigment, I was sold. Now, I am still a cool tone girly at heart, and like 90s cool tone brown lips will forever have my heart. These two shades right here are my absolute favorite. The coolest brown lip gloss you will ever find is NYX Butter Gloss in the shade Cinnamon Roll. For something a little bit deeper that's got kind of like a pretty like red plummy color to it, Ginger Snap is really pretty. Let me tell you, these became my rescue when I learned that I was a spring and I wanted to start experimenting with lip colors. This is a spring color I've learned to fall in love with. This is the shade Sorbet. She looks pretty scary based on the tube because yes, she is a bright pinky coral, but with a good like mauve lip liner or even something a little brown, it looks so pretty and pops. The NYX Duck Plump glosses, so good. I honestly want to get more shades of this one too because the plumping is incredible and the shades and the pigment of these glosses, NYX is gonna do it every time. They're just going to. I really like this shade in particular. If you're cool toned, it's called Lilac on Lock. Actually cool toned, and it's a beautiful mauve color, and like I said, the plumping effect was incredible. An affordable brand that I wish they had in more stores is j.cat Beauty. Their products are super good. This lip gloss is something I was not expecting to love so much. It's their Eternal Shine Lip Glaze in the shade Burnt Sienna. If you love frosty lips like Y2K or really sparkly shimmery lips, oh my gosh, look at her in the tube with a brown liner. Just gives me that dopamine that I need when I need something sparkly, you know? You can also find it on Ulta's website. I mentioned that I love affordable lip glosses. Well, I also love affordable lip balm, oil, gloss kind of hybrid things like are super popular right now. I don't know why you're paying $26 for one at Sephora. Because Saltaire exists. Saltaire ate and left no crumbs with these lip oil balms. The formula's not new, but they came out with a bunch of new summer shades this year that are super pretty. I really love this one called Buff. It's a perfect like warm, rosy, nude mauve color. I bet you didn't see this coming, but it's great if you're a spring. But seriously, they have so many different colors, and I think you can get them at Target. One tinted lip treatment that I did really like that was a tiny bit more than drugstore prices is the Tower 28 Lip Softies that came out this year. She really works. She always makes my lips super soft, and I really like the shades too. I got this one Ube Vanilla. Kind of like a nice muted burgundy on the lips that can be worn sheer or you can build it up a little bit. The only K-beauty products I have tried and actually fallen in love with are the Clio Crystal Glam Tints. I always get asked what I'm wearing on my lips whenever I wear one of these. I have like 4 different shades. Originally got sent them in PR. Actually leave pretty natural tints, and the shades are so pretty. This one is called Daily Mauve. I wear it a lot. They have a really pretty pinky peach color. I have one called Gentle Cinnamon. That's a perfect cool brown. The one I get asked about the most is called Vintage Apple. It's like a pretty muted brick red color. Really smoothing and really shiny. I will repurchase them when I run out. You doing all right? I need you to hang in. I got one more lip product before we do lip liners. It is my new holy grail. I promise I'm not being dramatic. Mob Beauty is quickly becoming one of my favorite brands, and I want to try every single product they have. I always forget the name of this. It's their Hydrating Shine Lip Balm, I think. The best thing I've ever put in my lips. The shade in particular, it's called M139. It is the perfect nude lip. I actually just made a separate video on it that I'm going to post on TikTok and Instagram. Pigment in her is crazy. She almost looks like a really pigmented gloss or even like a really shiny lipstick. I'm actually wearing her right now. Let me touch her up though. There you go. Okay, here we are, the final countdown. I honestly don't even know where to start. Mob Beauty feels like a good place. Have I mentioned that I love them? This lip liner in shade M159 is also a new holy grail for me. If you are obsessed with cool, brown, almost gray lips, you need this shade. Oh, what a surprise, Hallie. You're wearing her right now. And she is just... I don't have words. The best lip liner formula I've ever tried. It's like between dry and creamy, but also it's waterproof and it literally lasts forever. I was so impressed with this. I wore it to a concert a little while ago and my lip combo did not budge the whole night. Problem is she only comes in 3 colors right now, I think. So Mob, can we get more colors, please? On a similar note, I found a lot of really good, what is that? I found a lot of really good cool brown lip liners this year. Obviously had to try the viral Makeup Forever Artist Pencil in the shade Endless Cacao, and I love her. I really do. What's interesting to me though is she does look a little bit different than the Mob one. I thought she was going to look like the Mob one that I'm wearing right now, and she is very cool toned. However, I feel like on olive skin, mine in particular, she actually will pull slightly warmer, a little more neutral greenish, and I think that's perfect because I think she's perfect for if you're a cool olive or if you want to try a cool lip liner but you're afraid it will look straight gray on you, kind of like this one, but that's what I'm going for. I really like her, and the formula is super long lasting on her as well. I have talked about these two a lot on my other social medias, but the ColourPop lippy pencils are some of my favorites. They have so many shades, especially if you're cool toned and pale. You need these 2 shades, Ashton and Cool BFF. This one is lighter than like Endless Cacao and the Mob one I'm wearing now, but it's super cool tone, almost gray. And Cool BFF has a little more pink to her, a little pinky purple, but she's also really light. It's like the perfect contour shade for your lips if you're super pale. Slay. As I mentioned, they have every shade under the sun, so again, when I realized I was warm toned, I figured I'd play around with some different shades. My new go-to warm nude pencil is the ColourPop lippy pencil in the shade BFF2. It's a really pretty like medium toned neutral warm brown that looks good if I do a cool gloss on top or a warm one. Now while this shade is technically still a little bit cool, I think she works really well with like my bright corally pink glosses. This is the shade Grunge. She's like a deep kind of muted mauve color, but like I said, I think she works well with like the bright colors when I want to make it feel a little more grounded and not so bright popping off my face, you know what I mean? If you're cool toned, you'll also like to wear her with any other cool tone lip you have. And we did it. I'm just showing off my tattoo again. I honestly have a lot more favorites, not just from this year, but favorites of all time that I really want to share with you guys. So I hope to film a video like that soon for you. Very grateful for the opportunities I've had as a content creator. I never would have gotten to try a lot of this makeup if it wasn't for people like you. So thank you so much to all of my followers and you viewers stopping by, and to all of these wonderful brands. I would also really love to know what kind of YouTube videos you would love to see from someone like me. Any ideas are welcome. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more pale olive content. Hey, let me know what your favorite products were that you tried in 2024. Bye!